Hi there, I'm Joey.
I'm Jacob.
And we are watching Star Trek for the first time. Last time on Star Trek, we put together a little puzzle, and only one person knew the answer. It was a great episode. I loved clues. That was awesome. Today, we are watching an episode called, get ready for this, First Contact.
First Contact?
Uh-huh. Yeah. I'm aware there's a Star Trek movie, it's a TNG movie, I think, called First Contact.
So it's probably not about this event.
Maybe. I don't know. I know in general, like Star Trek fans call First Contact Day, like, I think the day that Vulcans first met humans.
That's my understanding.
That is what it is historically. I think that's what it is. So I'm assuming this might be related to that somehow. I guess.
Maybe. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. We'll find out. We're going to post episode thoughts in a second. Be sure to join us then. We're about to watch First Contact. Another one that I'm kind of blown away by, but in a totally different way. I am just taken aback by this. Really, I am. First off, it has nothing to do with Vulcans. Nothing to do with any of that.
It is a First Contact and brilliant speculative fiction.
Yeah. That is a lot of what my notes kind of focused on. Is that I just love this idea of the speculative fiction aspect of it, of just okay, well, let's say the Malcorians in this case are humans. Let's put us in their place. What is First Contact actually like? What if we found this alien? I think this episode, in being so crew light, like the main crew of the Enterprise isn't in this episode as much as it usually is. In focusing strictly on the Malcorians, I think there is such a great look at the street level, sort of how people are sort of taking this news and how this news is sort of spreading. I love that idea. I love the way that it's portrayed.
And we see it through two main lenses: the political lens and a hospital.
Yeah, and the hospital acts as this sort of street level view of just what do the people on the ground sort of think? Like how is this news spreading? How are we experiencing this for the first time?
We got a full gambit of it. We got the strict professional of the original medical director,
who's just no, this is still a patient in my hospital. I will still take care of him as a patient.
You will not do anything that compromises his health. You got the fear of his number one, and then you've got everyone else's reaction, general fear, kind of concern.
Yeah.
One girl totally into the concept.
I love that. Man-Whore Riker has returned, and Riker gets laid by this alien for nothing. Absolutely nothing. He gets caught immediately the second he escapes.
I don't know. She got something out of it.
She did.
She had sex with an alien.
She really did. He also could have totally tricked her into being oh, well, you see, the way that my people make love is we just hold hands, you know?
I think she would have been just as happy, let's be honest.
That's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. Totally fair. We were kind of taken aback also by the opening of the episode, where it was just it took me a second to realize that we were watching just a normal hospital for a second. They're just wheeling in this normal sort of gurney thing of just getting Riker in there.
It's in the slight future.
Yeah, because there's the different sort of heart monitor reading thing on there, and you're just wait a second, we're in a hospital. I was oh fuck, we're in a hospital, just a regular ass hospital.
Yeah, it's got the pink beige walls.
Yeah.
There's just regular looking medical equipment.
Yeah.
I was oh, we're just in a normal hospital?
Yeah. I am just so utterly fascinated by that idea. And again, also, it just helps to sort of ground the episode. It still feels different. And of course, we have the classic sort of Star Trek, what does the alien look like? Oh, just, we put some face shit on them.
And it kind of helps. Let me rephrase that. It's for understanding reasons. They gave the Chancellor the least amount, because we were going to spend a lot of time with him.
Yeah.
And the Minister, Minister Yale.
Yeah. Yep. She's a scientist, and she's obviously the best character in the episode. I adore her so much. She, from the moment she sees the Enterprise, there's this sense of wonder within her, and that just it wasn't a predictable ending, but when the ending happened, I was still well, this makes so much sense for this character. She ends up staying on the Enterprise. I don't know if that means she'll be on the crew, or if that just means that we're going to find a different place in the wider universe for her, which is also an admirable ending for that character.
And I think she has a great character too, because we introduced the planet through Riker's first first examination.
Yeah.
Where they're oh, he's got fingers
Yeah.
and toes.
Yeah.
And they don't, which is something I pointed out, like, midway of the episode. The Chancellor's, like, stamping his signature.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, right, because they can't hold a pencil.
They can't hold a pencil, yeah, exactly.
He has, like, a stamped signature, which is funny.
Yeah.
But she's originally presented in a scene where they're proposing warp drives.
Yeah, yeah. And kind of, but also on that, like, I love the Chancellor as well. He's got a great scene where he sees the Enterprise, and I love the scene of the dialogue of what will you tell your family. And he's like, I went to work today, a leader of my own universe, and I came back a voice in a chorus. And it's not treated like a bad thing. He doesn't treat it as a bad thing.
No, because he still says, and I still had a good day.
Yeah, yeah. That he is still... He's not part of this other camp. He's this almost in between. He's like, he doesn't feel one way or the other about this wider universe. He acknowledges that he is part of this wider universe. And
because we have three camps. We've got Minister Yale. Mm-hmm. We've got the Chancellor.
The Chancellor, and then Mr.
Korla sounds right.
Korla, yeah.
And we have Minister Korla, who is like head of security for like the planet, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you can guess where both of those extreme camps go.
Yeah.
And he's like, and the Chancellor's like, I could see the benefits of this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I can understand the concerns of my old friend.
Yeah. And within those two conflicting camps, the Chancellor still makes this final decision that the Malcorians aren't ready. They are not ready for this.
No, the hospital scene, as the Chancellor himself put it, is like, the hospital went very poorly. Mm-hmm. That is just a microcosm of what the whole planet would kind of be like.
Yeah, it is that great idea of just like on a show with like limited budget or that can't just do absolutely everything under the sun, and you want to like show this wider world. I think the use of the hospital in this is a great example of how to still get everyone's perspective with a limited perspective, if that makes sense. The hospital shows us the full range of like how everyone reacts to this news, and I really like that. He's like the hospital is proof of that. Like, no, okay, cool. That's how you show how the larger world and the Malcorians at large sort of feel about all this,
or would feel, because we actually didn't see it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, it just gives a sense of scope while still remaining intimate, if that makes sense,
and having no more than like 20 characters.
Yeah, it's really cool. Also, one final note: I didn't see an executive producer Gene Roddenberry credit at the end.
No,
I know he's not dead yet. Timeline wise, as far as the making of the episodes, he's not dead yet. But it just said Rick Berman. I know Rick Berman's the guy that takes over for Roddenberry, but for a while they've been sharing the final credit of executive producer Gene Roddenberry, executive producer Rick Berman. But now it's just Rick Berman, and I don't... Did he actually step away from the show, Roddenberry?
Maybe.
Did he... I don't know. Commenters.
That is our speculation, that he has stepped away to deal with whatever is going on in his life that will lead to its end.
As I understand it, he knew he was dying for a while, and so... Who knows? But I mean, I'd be curious. Commenters, tell us. I don't know. Was Gene Roddenberry actively taking a step back from the show? I'm curious about that. But I think that does it for First Contact. Another great episode. Season 4 is just on a roll. Just loving this season so much. And I'm loving you, dear listeners, dear watchers. If you're enjoying what we're doing as well, if you love us just as much, be sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BloodNoteStudios. You can get early Star Trek reviews, exclusive Star Trek commentaries, and if you're not into any of that, there's a general support tier, so you can join that as well. Alright, I think be sure to join us next time when we continue Star Trek The Next Generation. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
I'm Jacob.
Goodbye.